Midcaps clock gains even as frontline indices oscillate in a narrow band. Metals and energy eke out gains while FMCG and financials drag. Auto industry players see passenger vehicle sales growing only 1 to 2% in FY26, far slower than the earlier expectations. SUVs, though, will grow faster, and two-wheelers and three-wheelers and commercial vehicles are expected to grow mostly in line with analyst estimates. Hindustan Unilever CEO Rohit Java says that the macros are turning in favor of consumption, with rural stronger than earlier years and the urban is also seeing a pickup. He also strikes an upbeat note on the potential of recently acquired digital beauty brand Minimalist. Mahanagar Gas MD Ashu Singhal says importing more LNG from the US should not be a worry for India, as Henry Hub gas prices are more stable and often lower than supplies from other sources. Hello, good afternoon. You've tuned into Business Lunch, coming in live from CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal Studios. I'm Vinny Motiwala. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. A quick look at what is shaping up in terms of the market. Has recovered from the day's lowest point. At least the Nifty 50 is what we're seeing. Look at it. Nifty 50 is trading at 22,870 levels as of now. Just a dip that we saw coming in a few minutes ago, but still off the day's lowest point as of now, down 0.2% of trade. Similar for the Sensex, also is trading with a slight bit of a cut in the trading session today of 1/10 to 2/10% in today's trading session. As of now, 0.3% of decline is what we're seeing for the Sensex. Mid and small cap, that is, outperforming the benchmark indices, did slip into the red, but look at the recovery that's come for the mid and small cap, trading almost near the day's highest point. What I want to pull up is the Nifty contributors today. We have the drags coming in from this private bank side. So when you look at it, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, which were doing well, and on the positive side yesterday, today are a bit of a drag, with ITC and Maruti Suzuki also dragging the market. While in terms of what's supporting the market, we have M&M, Reliance, NTPC, Infosys on the positive end. But yes, that's how the market setup is looking like this afternoon. Let's get the show started and talk about auto stocks, and they are in focus. Now, auto stocks seem to be under pressure today. After SIAM projects a 1 to 2% growth for the passenger vehicles in FY26. Hormaz is here to tell us more on this one. Hormaz, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And there's some interesting developments that are emerging from the automobile space in this closed-door meeting that SIAM had. They are now projecting FY26 passenger vehicle sales to grow anywhere between 1 to 2%. Now, this is further lower from the earlier projection that they had of 3 to 4%, and now they've trimmed it down further to 1 to 2%. Now, they've cited multiple factors behind this growth outlook. It includes weak demand, affordability concerns, declining entry-level car sales, a fading post-pandemic surge. SUVs have done well all this while, but the entry-level car sales have continued to struggle. Other factors also include the likes of inflation, the depreciation of the rupee compared to the dollar, and of course the geopolitical uncertainties, and as a result of which the growth in FY25 for passenger vehicles will be absolutely flat, and FY26 will be no better, only 1 to 2%. Now, for the two-wheelers, though, they expect that to be a bit of an outlier, expecting an 8 to 10% growth in FY26. And Nomura is also saying that most of these companies have already had a very cautious view on their sales projections for FY26, where for TVS Motors, they are expecting a 9 to 10% growth overall, but even here, the entry-level segment is only growing between 4 to 5%. Now, same is for Hero MotoCorp, where they're expecting a 7 to 8% growth. Now, when it comes to commercial vehicles, Tata Motors is expecting a 4% growth. Ashok Leyland for the truck segment is expecting growth in single digits. For the buses segment, it is expecting growth in double digits. Now, barring Mahindra & Mahindra, which recovered from the lows, most of these other auto names like Tata Motors, Maruti continue to remain under pressure. Even stocks like Tata Motors have seen a significant correction from their peak.
Okay, Hormaz, thank you so much for the latest update that is coming in on the auto sector from SIAM and what the data is indicating. But let's move on and bring you a CNBC-TV18 exclusive. Rohit Java of HUL says that quick commerce has filled a big consumer gap in India. Also hails the acquisition of Minimalist, praising the startup for research and development focus. Listen in to what he had to say.
Omni-channel behavior is increasing in India, and it's happened across the world. People buy from 6, 7 channels. I mean, you'd probably, even if you're looking at something, you'd probably surf somewhere else and eventually buy somewhere else. So I think the trend of omni-channel behavior is not uncommon, and it's here to stay. Therefore, we as a company got to serve our consumers and shopping missions wherever they are. And what quick commerce has done really is in certainly the very large cities where density is high, where actually consumers were already, shoppers were already calling and getting things done, delivered on phone or WhatsApp. It was an existing behavior, and therefore it wasn't that difficult. You know, it's hard to get around the city in terms of navigation and traffic and so on and so forth, parking. So what really quick commerce has found is it's found a shopper need, it's found a consumer gap, it's filled it. The brands that really do break through have a few things, I think, about them. One is that the sharpness on finding a real solution to a real gap in the market. So Minimalist found the gap in transparency, in science, and being really good on product. Because there's a lot of claims out in the market, but if you look at Minimalist, when I speak to the founders, they said, whatever be the case, I'm going to make a great product. And we found their R&D focus extremely good. So it starts from having a fabulous product. And they've kept the brand very consistent, very clean, very single-minded. And they've been very careful in pricing.
And you can catch the full conversation later this evening at 6:30 p.m. only on CNBC TV18. And on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break, viewers. But here's some good news coming in for you as a viewers. India's business news leader is now a click away. Introducing CNBC TV18's all-new app. Get instant access to breaking news, in-depth articles, financial world updates at your fingertips. Download the CNBC TV18 app now from the Apple Store or Google Store, and or you can just scan the QR code on the screen. Welcome back. Thanks for staying into Business Lunch on CNBC TV18. Let's move on. Tata Digital is looking to raise $300 million for its online pharma arm, Tata 1mg. Sources tell CNBC TV18 that the funds will be used to ramp up offline presence and faster deliveries. Rachna is joining with us to give us more details on this one. Good afternoon, Rachna.
Good afternoon, Mary. We are picking up an exclusive on Tata Digital's latest fundraising plans. Sources have told CNBC TV18 that Tata Digital is looking to raise $300 million for its digital health platform, Tata 1mg, as it looks to expand operations with focus on strengthening its omni-channel strategy. This comes with an emphasis on offline expansion and quicker deliveries. Currently, Tata 1mg delivers within 4 to 5 hours in select locations, primarily in Delhi NCR, and also offers an express delivery option for certain products within 30 minutes. We also understand that Citibank has been roped in to manage this fundraise. Tata Digital currently holds about 63% stake in Tata 1mg, which has previously secured investments from major firms like Sequoia Capital, Intel Capital, Omidyar Network, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The company was last valued at $1.25 billion in 2022, and this fresh funding is expected to strengthen its position in the digital healthcare space amid growing competition. Now, CNBC TV18 has reached out to Tata 1mg for a response, and we will update you as soon as we hear from them. Back to you.
Okay, Rachna, thank you so much for that. But let's move on. And Microsoft has unveiled Majorana 1. It is the first quantum computing chip which it believes will make quantum computing a reality in just a few years. Speaking on the occasion, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said, and I quote, "Most of us grew up learning there are 3 main types of matters. Matter, solid, liquid and gas. Today that has changed. After nearly 20 years of pursuit, we have created an entirely new state of matter. It powers Majorana 1, the first quantum processing unit built on a topological core. Now imagine a chip that can fit in the palm of your hand, yet is capable of solving problems that even all computers on Earth today combined could not do it. Technologists believe quantum computers could one day efficiently solve problems that would be taxing, if not possible, for classical computers." Okay, let's move on. US President Donald Trump, during a joint television interview with Elon Musk on Fox News, said that he made it clear to the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, that India will not be spared from reciprocal tariffs. Donald Trump also said that it is unfair to expect Tesla and Elon Musk to build a factory in India to avoid tariffs. Trump said that he told Prime Minister Modi that US will charge whatever India charges. Trump also called out India's high duty on cars during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United States last week, but he agreed that to work towards an early trade deal and resolve their standoff over tariffs. Trump claimed that India charges the highest tariffs in the world and the import duty is 100% on cars. And moving on, in a line with the tariff debate, CNBC's Lata Venkatesh asked experts on how reciprocal tariffs will affect India. Here's what they had to say.
We are looking at now GST, because in the press release that the US administration released for reciprocal tariff discussion, they mentioned about VAT in different countries also being higher compared to the US. US does not have any VAT. So when you consider tariff rates, the fact that India has GST, which US does not have, and then the third thing that they are looking at is non-tariff barriers. So when you consider all the three factors, we think India will find it difficult relative to this whole reciprocal tariff issue that the US has raised.
Exports to US, the merchandise exports part has gone up quite substantially. So we are now exporting around $80 billion to US, and that's about 18% of India's total export. So from that perspective, it's quite substantial. The growth has also been quite good. And more importantly, what has happened is that our trade surplus with US has widened, almost doubled from around $25 billion to now, by US estimates, almost close to $45 billion. By our estimate, the number is more closer to $38 billion.
Even Trump administration is not clear how they are going to exercise all these things. Are they going to impose at the country level? Then the impact will be different. Are they going to give one tariff on industry, another for agriculture? Then it will be different. Are they going at the sectoral level? They don't know any of these things. At the country level, the weighted average tariffs faced by the US goods in India is only 7.7%. This includes agriculture and industrial products both. And Indian products, in contrast, face only 2.8% in the US. So tariff gap or differential is 4.9%.
Okay, on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. Viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more news and updates after the break. Welcome back to Business Lunch on CNBC-TV18. Moving on to some news coming in from the national capital. Rekha Gupta has been sworn in as the Chief Minister of Delhi at a grand ceremony in Delhi's Ram Leela Maidan. She is the first BJP CM of Delhi since 1998. The swearing-in ceremony, which was attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, top BJP ministers and BJP chief ministers, also saw 6 others being sworn in as ministers. Moving on to some more updates coming in. There is a rising sports star on the horizon. She loves horses and is only 15. The last few months have seen Chennai's Miraya Dadaboy win top honours at the Junior National Equestrian Championship and the Best Asian Youth Rider at the FEI World Dressage Challenge. But Jude finds out the young rider's passion for horses and appetite for success has begun only just now. Here's a story as a part of our ongoing series, Future Female Forward.
Riding horses may not exactly be a walk in the park for you and me, but there's a 15-year-old prodigy in Chennai who's made quite the name for herself, winning multiple gold medals and surging ahead in the Asian rankings.
Mariah, come down the center line.
And while she may be riding to compete since 2021, Mariah first took to horse riding when she was only 4 years old. So it's little wonder that the 15-year-old has already begun stacking up one medal after another.
In the 2023 Junior Nationals, I placed team gold, individual silver and individual fourth in dressage, and I competed in the show jumping in the Children 1 category.
At the Chennai Equitation Center, Mariah is hard at work with coaches Isabel Hasselder and Vikas Pandey. The young equestrian trains 6 days a week before school begins. She specializes in dressage, which is a form of rider-horse synchronization and show jumping. Both events have seen the 15-year-old reap the rewards of unrelenting work ethic and dedication. In fact, her coaches believe that it's this trait that is her X factor.
I think one of the biggest strengths Mariah has is she doesn't give up. So even if she falls down, she will be up the next few seconds and saying, okay, I'll get back on the horse. And that, standing up when you're lying down in the sand, in the dirt, that is something really, really important as a skill to have.
But it isn't easy. The 10th grader says there's one challenge that she contends with every day that's even bigger than controlling a 600-kilogram horse.
So the biggest challenge for me is probably my time, because in the morning I finish all my riding and then I go to school, and in the evening I have my studies and I have to do physical training. So I think it's a lot of time management and knowing where to allot my time and finish all my work.
Then there's the challenge of sponsorships too. Equestrianism isn't exactly a mainstream sport in India, and sponsorships for events like show jumping and dressage are hard to come by. But that isn't holding Mariah back from aiming for the stars.
I really want to make riding my professional career, and I'd love to compete and train and as a competition rider. So I'd love to do that internationally, and I would love to compete in the highest levels of dressage internationally, on international grounds, and represent my country in the big competitions.
With team golds and individual silver and Pan-Asian recognition under her belt, Mariah Daraboy's next big leap is a spot and a medal at the Asian Games. For now though, the young rider is hard at work, making sure she gets the best from her horses. In Chennai, Jude Sanath.
Okay, on that note, we're absolutely out of time on this edition of Business Lunch on CNBC-TV18. Leaving the markets where we started, 22,885 is where the Nifty is at. Don't go anywhere. Midcap Radar is up next to take you through all the market action.